Host Cody Askins sitting here with my co-host, Mr. Dallas Keithley, and we have an in-studio guest, Mr. Brian Askins from Secure Insurance Group.
Very nice. Welcome, Brian.
It's great to be here.
We are excited about this week. Cody, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I came close to singing. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave that for you on the show.
If either one of us is going to sing, it'd have to be you. And you're right, Dallas. We are 13 days, 4 hours, 27 minutes, and 40 seconds of counting.
And it is officially time. You can draft now. You have our permission. It's time to start drafting. It's time to start getting those fantasy football leagues ready. We've had a draft. I've got another one coming up Saturday evening, tomorrow night.
We kicked off the drafting season.
We did.
Beat the Pros Fantasy Football League draft brought to you by Secure Insurance Group. We drafted at Secure Insurance Group with Ned Reynolds, Kirk Elmquist.
And may I stop you right there and say I think we've been snookered, or what's the word when you get taken in a bet?
Hustled.
I think we've been hustled. Ned Reynolds made some good picks.
He did. Well, I mean, gosh, we need to talk about his team later on today.
We will.
Because I'm sure everyone wants to know what the legend, Ned Reynolds, future broadcaster, picked. And he actually, what's funny is he dropped a bunch of knowledge on the Facebook Live video we did.
He did.
He told about, he had just
Mason Crosby's
knew where they were
brother
born, and just crazy.
Great
crazy
stuff. And I think we've been reverse hustled by Mr. Elmquist. So
yeah, well, we'll find out once we go over his picks. You never know. He went for points and maybe Super Bowl second place. I mean,
very nice. And we also, to finish out the list, we had Ned, we had Kirk, we had Jake Gillette there. Our two winners from the shows, Tyler Wood and Matt Odie. We also had
Guy Newcomb
of there.
The scoreboard guy, which everyone knows. He's all over Jock all the time. The three of us, Cody, Brian, and Dallas.
Yeah.
And Mr. Jeff Klinkenbeard.
Online.
Computer Talk USA.
Yeah, and he has to be, I hate to say it, but and I don't know Jeff, and all's fair in love and war, but he has to be the first victim that I take down.
That's who you're taking on the first week, isn't it?
It is, and I've already sent flowers and apologized, but he's in the path, he's in the road. And that I must take to the championship.
Well, let's talk about we've got Secure Insurance Group. We did the Beat the Pros Fantasy Football League at Secure Insurance Group's office, which is also our office, just happens to be. And Brian Askins is in studio with us. Brian, tell everyone what Secure Insurance Group does.
Secure Insurance Group is an independent agency located here in Springfield, Missouri, and we do anything in the life and annuity arena, anything to do with long-term care, disability, critical illness, any type of health insurance, any type of property and casualty, anything in the Medicare world, dental, vision, hearing, payroll deduction products, business owner products. So basically, anything in the insurance industry, Secure Insurance Group does it.
Wow!
I was talking last week. I had a lady actually call me and wanted life insurance on a dog. It was a service animal.
Right.
And had paid great money for this dog, and we were able to help her out.
Surprisingly so. We didn't think we could. We went down to George in our property and casualty, home and auto department, and he said, absolutely, we can help with that. So.
Yeah, I guess, you're dropping a lot of money on something that you want to protect. We can take care of it, for sure. So we want to talk today. We've had a great week. I don't know how much, Cody, you've been watching a little preseason. I watched a little bit last night, what the NFL Network would let us watch.
Just a little bit.
But a couple things that I've noticed. Ezekiel Elliott looks pretty good.
Yes, 7 yards a carry. He came out strong.
7 yards per carry.
He gets to play in the third preseason game.
He does.
He did pretty well. There's been a lot of hype around him, too.
Well, and he's got to go explore Seattle a little bit. And
Unfortunately,
go and see what Seattle had. If you don't know what we're talking about, went into a herbal store, if you will, and looked around. Said he didn't purchase anything, but Jerry Jones came out today and said that just not smart, not a good thing, which I would have to agree. You can't do that.
No. But the Cowboys did get beat last night by 27-17 at the hands of the Seattle Seahawks. And Dak Prescott's looking good.
38 for 59, I think.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns,
Looks
0
so
interceptions.
Well, Russell Wilson also did well, 16 for 21, $192, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he did pretty well. And then
Romo's 1 for 1, 1 tackle, 1 injury. So he's back to his old ways.
Jeez.
And But, yeah, Julio Jones knocked around a little bit last night. I read a report, though, that said he could have come back in if he wanted to. They just decided not to, so I think he's okay.
Right.
And Romo, they chose not to do an MRI, so I think he's going to be all right. But it just, as a Cowboys fan and as a Tony Romo owner, I'm not really comfortable this morning.
Sure, yeah. And then the Dolphins whooped up on the Falcons. Again, preseason, so that's not a big deal, but 17-6. And Matt Ryan played a little bit. Ryan Tannehill played a little bit. They're starting to play some more starters late in the preseason.
They are. And it's fun to watch. I watch the first quarter every once in a while, and just to kind of see. I was excited to see Zeke run and see what he would do. He's going very early. In our draft, I think he went number 14, I want to say.
Oh,
But,
Zeke?
yeah,
Zeke 15.
15
overall.
15 overall in a PPR league. Man, it just, for a guy that's never touched a football prior in our draft, he had not yet stepped foot on a NFL field during regulation time. That's pretty high to me. But you never know.
Well, we're seeing it higher. I mean, we're seeing them in the first round a lot, and we've got a caller. And feel free to call in 417-868-6100. We got Connor on the line. Mr. Connor, welcome to the show, sir.
Hi, how you boys doing today?
Doing well.
Great.
Doing
Thanks
well.
for calling in.
Just got a quick question for you, Dallas.
I'm listening.
Hey, with Dallas taking Romo for his quarterback, what is he thinking with him being injury prone?
I am thinking week one.
Is he already out for the season?
No. I am thinking week one, Mr. Tony Romo plays at home against the Giants, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, my
Week
goodness.
two, I don't know. But week one, I'm in it to take down Captain Clinkenbeard, I believe is his name. And so I'm thinking week one, he's going to at least throw, I'm going to say 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
At least.
I found it when Dallas drafted him. I was found that kind of comical just because of how much he's getting injured every year, and he's getting up there in age. I mean, Tim Tebow better out there than freaking.
Well, we're not doing a baseball draft here. It's Tebow has went on to other sports, but I can take it. I appreciate
Well, and
that.
he got Tony Romo you drafted him 109th overall. That's the 11th round.
Yep.
11th pick of the 11th round, which, you know what? Yeah, at that point, that's who knows, but you know what? There's probably other ones I could also argue for. Thank you very much for calling in, Connor. Appreciate you.
Thanks, boys. Have a good show.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thanks for listening. We have, we've got about 5 minutes left in the segment. What we want to do today, we would love to just go through, recap the draft. If you have questions or if you've got a draft coming up, we would love to hear what your plan is. We would love to hear if you've already had a draft and you think you got a steal in the draft, let us know. And then
Brag on yourself.
yeah, let us know what your team is. We will agree with you, disagree with you, whatever. But we want to know how's your draft going. One thing I want to know is if you could pick anywhere. Brian and I were talking about this before the show. If you could pick the place, the number that you could pick at, what would it be?
What do you think, Brian? What place in the draft would you prefer to be?
I prefer to be in the middle of the draft, somewhere around 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And why would you? Is that just kind of what you've seen in mock drafts? You just think you can draft a better team potentially in that area?
I do. If you're not going to get if you're in a PPR and you're not going to get one of the 3 big wide receivers, you're still going to get an extremely solid player there.
Yeah.
And then obviously you'll come back and be able to get that great second round pick too.
You bring up a good point because I mean there's it doesn't matter if it's standard or PPR. There's arguably. Especially once you get to the running backs, like you mentioned in that middle of that round, there's 3, 4, 5 running backs, 6 running backs maybe that are arguably draft worthy at that point. And we're seeing a lot of variance there. I mean, from Todd Gurley, David Johnson, AP, Devontae Freeman, Ezekiel Elliott, Lamar Miller. I mean, that's just what we've been seeing.
Well, and to me personally, the worst place to draft for me is the first 2 picks. You are putting a lot of stock into one player.
Unless you're Mr. Primetime.
Well, and
which just happens to be myself.
Which
you will get to hear how incredible of a team I drafted here.
People are on the edge of their
second
seat.
segment.
They're on the edge of their seat. I can tell. But no, and you can a lot of times you will pick that number 1 player and he will be just a absolute stud throughout the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, if somebody goes down to injury, which I guess is true of anybody, but you are putting a lot of eggs in that basket.
Well, and you bring up a good point. That's probably the reason we're seeing more receivers at this point is earlier on. Not only is the league turning into more of a passing league, but running backs have a better chance of getting injured. You have a better chance of getting a full 16 games out of an elite receiver than you do an elite running back.
Well, and the other thing, too, yeah, definitely. And the other thing, too, about running backs is there are very few standalone workhorse running backs. There's probably maybe 4, I'm guessing, maybe 5 that I would call true standalone running backs.
Yeah,
So.
I would agree with that. We've got Jake on the line. Jake, thank you very much for calling in, sir. What can we do for you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, so in my work league, we made it possible that you could trade draft picks. We had the draft lottery early.
Very nice.
So so that first week, everybody's trading draft picks, trying to move up. And I actually ended up with the fourth overall and 7th overall. And I kind of am hurting because I don't have a 2nd or 3rd, but then I have 2 4ths, 2 5ths, and an early 6th. So that'll kind of make up for it. But I'm kind of going back and forth on what I should do with a 4th and 7th pick. It's a 14-team league.
PPR?
So it is PPR, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and that's exactly, Brian, that's exactly where you were talking about how you'd like to be in that middle area. He's got 2 picks in that middle area.
Yeah, I had the 4th overall pick in our most recent league, and it was the PPR. And the big 3 wide receivers, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, and Odell Beckham, were all picked. And so the 4th pick, I took Todd Gurley. And one of the big reasons I took Todd is because Todd had the most yards of any back last year between the 4th and the 16th week. He had 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, I believe, and just was absolutely phenomenal during that time frame. So,
and and he's one of the. I mean, there's a few backs that don't have a lot of competition, but he's one. There is no competition out in L.A. now. I mean, Gurley is the back. He's the dude. I mean, if you're looking at that area, Jake, do you think the 3 big receivers will be off the board if you had to guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe one of the guys might take a running back first, but what I've been going with is actually, like you said, Brian, is getting either like David Johnson or Gurley first. And in the mock drafts I've done, that's the strongest teams I've come out. We get like a running back first, and then take like Brandon Marshall or AJ Green 7th, who's still there.
Don't overlook DeAndre Hopkins either. He's I've got Hopkins above AJ Green by 1 spot, but David Johnson, Todd Gurley, DeAndre Hopkins is who I have 4, 5, and 6.
Here's kind of the 5 players, and I think you'll end up with 2 of them, and you just got to decide which ones you want or which one's available immediately. I think it'll be David Johnson, Todd Gurley, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, or AP. I think that'll kind of be the 5 there. That'll be right in the middle. That personally. I'd probably go Gurley and then hope for Hopkins at 7. That's what I'm seeing, and that's just kind of what I would like.
And if Hopkins is not there, I wouldn't hesitate at all going Allen Robinson either.
Yeah, that's a great one too. Yep, for sure.
That's also good. Thank you very much for calling in, Jake. Hey, great luck this season and dominate your league.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
We now one thing that he brought up, David Johnson. We're seeing him go extremely high.
Oh, yeah, very early.
And we talked about that was possibly due to the show. I read another article this week due to the show. I believe it was a HBO show called All or Nothing about the Arizona Cardinals.
I actually watched the entire thing with Bruce Arians, the whole team from last year. That was a cool show, man.
Yeah, they say Bruce Arians went just crazy nuts about David Johnson. The problem with David Johnson is I never liked the flash in their pant or the popular pick. I don't care that he has Andre Ellington behind him and Chris Johnson behind him.
CJ2K.
Yeah, he's still back there, and CJ2K has got to be, pushing what 36?
50?
Yeah, 50. And so I struggle taking David Johnson that early.
And one thing about David Johnson, if you look at his stats for 2015, in week 15 was his big week. That was a 29 carries, 187 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Other than that, he did not have another 100-yard game the entire season. And
wow,
he really had one just tremendous week. And then he had 2 good weeks because in week 13 he rushed for 22 carries, 99 yards. In week 14 he rushed for 19 yards, 19 attempts, 92 yards. Week 15 again was his huge week. But week 16 against Green Bay, he rushed 9 times for 39 yards. In week 17 against Seattle, he rushed 11 times for 25 yards. So we're basing everything off of a 3-game stretch there.
So you're saying in those 3 games he lit it up?
He did light it up in those 3.
He did light it up. Well, it was due to injury. I mean, he was thrust into the lineup at that point. And you know what? A lot of his stuff was a lot of his stats were receptions.
I was trying to
receiving, but
I was trying to throw you a segue into our first 417 lighting ad there, but we missed it.
He lit it up. He did light it up. Hey, if you have if you want to go LED, or if you want to if you need help with the lighting or anything electrical, please use 417 lighting specialist Jeremy Johnson. Call him today at 655-1283. Again, for anything LED, lighting, electrical, they actually wired the all of our cubicles in our office there at Secure Insurance Group. Use them. They have a great staff. Very good, honest individual. Jeremy Johnson's a good friend of ours. Call Jeremy Johnson today at 655-1283. Again, 417 Lighting Specialist. Jeremy Johnson is the owner. Call him today, 655-1283. We'll be back after this short break. You're listening to the Fantasy Professionals.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Hiring people is probably the worst part of my job. It's such a hassle, the searching, the sorting through resumes. Most people don't have the right experience.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier. 1 click and my job was posted to 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them. Thumbs up if I liked them, thumbs down if I didn't. No emails and attachments, printing up docs, phone calls, none of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Whether you're looking to fill 1 position or 20, find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just 1 click away from 100+ job sites. ZipRecruiter, the fastest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/score. That's ZipRecruiter.com/score. ZipRecruiter.com/score.
I'm Brian with Secure Insurance Group. Secure is an independent agency located in Springfield, Missouri. Do you have health issues? Have you been declined for life insurance? With Guaranteed Issue Life Insurance, there are no health questions, no medical examinations, you're guaranteed coverage. You can purchase up to $40,000 of Guaranteed Issue Life Insurance. A simple rate for $10,000 of guaranteed coverage for a 50-year-old is $28 monthly. Call Brian at Secure for a free quote, 883-9300. The number to call is 883-9300.
Why does Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy gasoline have 7 ingredients? Is it because 7 is a lucky number? Or because there's 7 wonders of the world? Or because one time I ate 7 cheesesteaks? No, it's because 7 is the precise number of ingredients engineered by a team of really, really smart scientists that helps you get better gas mileage. Mystery solved. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here.
Fuel economy claims are compared with gasoline meeting minimum government standards. Results will vary. Visit Exxon.com or Mobil.com for details.
When's the best time to enjoy Twisted Tea? When you want the taste of real iced tea, but with a kick. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is brewed like a beer, but tastes like real iced tea. Cool, refreshing, smooth, with a kick. Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Change your grass for the better with early Labor Day savings of 10% on Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food and Fall Weed and Feed at the Home Depot. Winter Guard feeds your lawn to build strong, deep grass roots for winter when it needs it most. So it'll be lush and green next spring when you want it most. Get 10% savings on Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food and Fall Weed and Feed. The Home Depot. More saving. More doing. Valid through October 5th while supplies last.
You know, Golick, other wireless providers say they will cut your bill in half, but who knows what kind of coverage you're going to get.
When you switch to Straight Talk Wireless, you get nationwide coverage on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE networks and still save on your wireless bill every month.
You get the unlimited plan for just $45 a month. No contracts, no credit checks, no mystery fees.
And get this, with Straight Talk's Bring Your Own Phone plan, you can keep your phone, your number, and even your network when you switch.
Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, half the cost.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Professionals. Cody, Dallas, and Brian sitting here. Brian from Secure Insurance Group. We were talking about the Beat the Pros Fantasy Football League draft that we had Tuesday night at Secure Insurance Group. Dallas, who's a pro in this local market that you enjoy doing business with?
I enjoy going to First National Bank.
Is it because of the Werther's Original Caramel
the
Candy?
Werther's Original, the friendly service, the fact that, like I've said before 100 times, they know my kids' names, they know my dog's name, they know everything about me.
They even jump in and make fun of you.
In a non-weird way. And yeah, they enjoy making fun of me as well. They won't make fun of you, though, if you go to First National Bank. They are at 4108 South National. They have 2 branches as well in Clinton, 417-823-9600. You can find them online at myfnbonline.com. Been in business over 70 years with the same family.
That's huge.
They are a keeper league. They keep it in family. Very nice.
And you've been there several years. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
That's impressive.
Been there quite a while. I wouldn't go anywhere else. First National Bank. Give them a call, 823-9600.
This segment, we're going to do a couple different things. First of all, we're going to talk about the first round of our Beat the Pros. We're going to go player by player, give a little insight. We're all going to talk a little bit. Also, if you have questions about your draft, about who to pick, about like Jake and Connor of what to do in certain situations, please call in 417-868-6100. Again, 417-868-6100. And Dallas, what's that toll-free number in case they want to use that?
It is 1-800-869-5927. I would ask we just asked the Facebook listeners an interesting question.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there, Todd Gurley's there, David Johnson's there. Let's say a PPR league. Who are you taking?
2 sophomore players. Who do you pick? Who do you pick,
love
Dallas?
to hear. I've got to go Gurley.
Oh, he changed it during the break. I talked him into it.
Never changed it. Didn't change anything.
Well, no, you were. What's funny is, and I think it's just because of time. You were a monster David Johnson fan. Like literally, you were all like seriously considering him number 1 overall about 3 weeks ago.
Either that, or I was trying to get you to take him number 1 overall.
Yeah, that's
One
what
of
it was.
the two.
That's what it was.
Now,
I thought we were just going to say David Johnson, you, Brian's definitely Gurley, and then you know what? Because of the competition in Arizona,
yep,
I think we can all agree at Gurley now. David, we've sold Dallas. He's on board.
Well,
he's Gurley too.
And I had David Johnson. You were talking about that big game. I think it was week 15.
Preseason.
14, 15. Last
16,
year.
16? Was it
16
week 16?
Maybe, where he just went off. I had him. I had Andre Ellington and I had David Johnson. I started Andre Ellington, so and I know that's going to happen again. Nothing drives me crazier than having 50 points on my bench.
That's a crowded backfield, so it makes sense to get Gurley. Most listeners can't even name the second or third string in LA because it doesn't matter.
Mr.
It
Cunningham,
just doesn't, I mean, right? But it doesn't even matter. That's how Gurley is. He has that wrapped up. That job is his. Nothing can take it away. Where Arizona's coach Bruce Arians was acting like David Johnson. It's kind of funny to think about. He was kind of acting like we don't know who's going to start kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to spend a first round pick on someone that's even jokingly contemplated.
Yeah, and so give us a call. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're right. 868-6100. The other thing, if you want to be negative on Gurley, they're going to be behind a lot of games. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot.
He didn't get as much of those reps as a David Johnson would, which makes him, David Johnson, arguably as valuable, if not more valuable in PPR. I mean, you just never know. It's back and forth. So let's recap the first round of our Beat the Pros Fantasy Football League Draft, brought to you by Secure Insurance Group. I, Mr. Primetime, Mr. Cody Askins, Mr. Beat the Dallas Keithley, was sitting there number 1 overall. I had the option of anyone. And I took, drum roll please.
No.
Mr. Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, which was probably the second easiest pick of my draft.
If you're standard league, do you take him as well?
I also take him standard league number 1.
Antonio Brown. Now,
Lock it in the bank. Put him on your team.
Brian's
He's going to carry
disagree with you on that.
to the ship.
I have a feeling Brian would disagree with you on that one.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, that's a tough call because I've actually.
No, come on, throw him under the bus.
In a standard league, it's going to be between Todd Gurley and Antonio Brown, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go right now. If I do have a standard draft coming up, I'm just hoping I don't get that number 1 pick, and I'm not put in that situation.
Yeah, it's a tough one to be in. It's especially PPR. It made it really easy. Number 2. The number 2 pick was Team Gillette, which was Jake Gillette of JVG Painting, sponsor of this show.
Yep.
And you'll be hearing his painting ad in the 4th segment of our show, about 3:50 probably. Dallas, he took Mr. Julio Jones,
Definitely.
Atlanta Falcons wide receiver.
Very nice pick.
Well, that's something that he even probably contemplated himself. A lot of people would go Julio. A lot of people would go Beckham. And I think we would see about a 50-50, 60-40 split there.
I'd say 60-40, and I got to go take Julio every time.
See, I love Jake. I got to go Beckham.
I take Julio also.
Julio all day.
That
guy is just a physical specimen. He's a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Ryan, and you got to go. You got to think about who's throwing to him. Eli, or who do you like better, Eli or Ryan?
Eli. Eli.
Maybe it's my cowboy prejudice coming through. I don't
Probably
like
is.
Eli, but Ryan is going to throw Julio Jones the ball. Roddy White's not there anymore. Their second back is who? Mohamed Sanu, I think, maybe.
Second receiver?
Second receiver. So that's
he may be now.
A couple years ago, it was Roddy and Julio. Now it's the Julio show.
Well, they don't have a lot. Well, they obviously got Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, but okay. 3rd overall pick. We already knew who went to. Mr. Tyler Wood took Odell Beckham Jr., New York Giants wide receiver.
Yeah, and
that was a given, right?
That was a given.
I think the first pick in PPR, it's Brown. Second, you've got a couple options. Third, whatever is left of those 3 receivers.
Right.
That's kind of a given. Okay, so number 4 was Mr. Brian Askins in studio from Secure Insurance Group. Mr. Secure, what did you do?
I took Todd Gurley, the best player on the board at the time.
Which, as you have talked for the last 27 minutes and 55 seconds, we should have imagined that's who you went.
Yeah, and I think I would agree with that. I can't. I mean,
that's
it is
that's the
PPR.
toughest spot to be in the first round. If the 3 wide receivers are off the board and you got to pick 4, Gurley's going to be the pick a lot of the times. But I personally think that is the toughest spot to be in the first round.
If you were going to go wide receiver, let's say.
Let's just say you didn't go running back.
You didn't go running back. Who are you going with?
A.J. Green.
A.J. Green.
Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver. Wow, nice. Okay.
All right.
That gives you some ideas of some options there. Who is number 5
Then
was
we had the Godfather.
The Godfather, the legend, the former broadcaster, needs no introduction, Mr. Ned Reynolds.
He stood up and he took David Johnson.
He did. Arizona
impressed.
Cardinals running
I
back
was a little
David
nervous right there because
Johnson.
we had heard how Ned had never done this. We had heard how he, didn't.
I
He
think
kept telling
he
us,
was
"I don't know what
hustling
I'm
us."
doing." And so I was getting ready for I don't know, Mason Crosby pick right there or something like that. I wasn't sure what to expect, but he stood up and stepped up to the plate and slammed dunk a touchdown, as we like to say.
He did.
With
5th
David
overall,
Johnson.
he took David Johnson. I like the pick, and you know what? Ned's been huge on David Johnson. We've had some conversation with him. He's been huge on David Johnson, and rightfully so. You know, I mean, the guy finished the year strong. Now, the number 6, I think, is one pick that which we can all weigh our thoughts on, and our listeners can as well. Mr. Kirk Elmquist, Bass Pro Shops, Legends of Golf, and Big Cedar Lodge took, and he's in here in studio on the Sports Reporters with Ned Reynolds from 9 to 11 every Thursday. He took the first quarterback off the board. No quarterback had been picked the first 5 picks. Is the anticipation there?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I hope not. Kirk Elmquist took Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers quarterback, and he should be the first quarterback off the board, him or Rodgers. What was your thoughts, Mr. Keithley, on the 6th overall pick?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it because
you're in the league.
I'm in the league, and I know that that's one player that I'm not going to take. Now, I this year, Cam Newton. Let's go to the positive side.
You look at it.
He's going to
Quarterbacks
score a ton of points. He is, Cam Newton. But the question that I have is, will he be there later?
Well,
and I think the answer is yes. I think he could have got him with his second pick.
That's one thing I was fixing to say as well. I don't mind Cam Newton. He is a absolute stud. But I feel like the 26th, where was he? The 15th overall pick, when he took Elliott, Cam Newton would have still been there. Middle of the second, Cam Newton would have still been there. And he had could have took AP, Hopkins. There were some options. But it may come back to winning the championship.
And it kind of comes down to draft styles. Some guys go into the pick. Some guys go into a draft saying, I am going to take this guy. Doesn't matter
Right.
who's there, who's what. I'm taking this guy, and I think that's what we saw, and nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong. So, it's not something I would have done.
Sure.
But
it could work out.
It could work out. Now, something I would do
is number 7 overall.
is
by
number
Mr.
7
Matt
overall.
Odie.
Yep, I love this pick.
AP all day, Mr. Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings running back.
Mm-hmm. And, is he getting a little older? Yes. Is he?
Well, he sat out for an entire season, though.
He did
He's
sit out for a
arguably,
season.
especially last year, and we saw him back in his form. He's older, but he's not old enough yet.
Yeah, and
he's not.
He's one of those guys that until he shows me that he can't do it anymore,
yeah,
I'm gonna take him every time. Somebody that I'm going to go to every time is Dr. Rolando Papagayo over there at 640 West Republic Road, Suite 124, 883-8448. You can find him online, www.drpapagayo.com. If you need help spelling that, call in. Dwayne will help you out there. But like I said, you can call them 883-8448. The only dentist that I trust, the only person that I'll go to, the cleanest office in town.
They've
Cody,
been in both
you've
of our
been there.
mouths. That is a clean office, great staff. That is an awesome place.
He's got a way with words, ladies and gentlemen. 883-8448. Give them a call today. We will be right back. You're listening to The Fantasy Professionals.
It's a great time to be a sports fan. NFL and college football are starting, baseball races are heating up, and the NBA and NHL seasons are approaching. You can find every NFL team's merchandise at Fast Break Sports, and more than 30 college teams from Alabama to Wisconsin, from apparel to hundreds of novelty items. Fast Break Sports is also the best sports card store. Single cards, packs, boxes, supplies, everything for the card collector. Ask about the monthly trade day. The sports fans headquarters since 1992. Fast Break Sports on South Campbell.
Change your grass for the better with early Labor Day savings of 10% on Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food and Fall Weed and Feed at the Home Depot. Winter Guard feeds your lawn to build strong, deep grass roots for winter when it needs it most. So it'll be lush and green next spring when you want it most. Get 10% savings on Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food and Fall Weed and Feed. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through October 5th while supplies last.
I'm Brian with Secure Insurance Group. Secure is an independent agency located in Springfield, Missouri. As an independent agency, we shop the top-rated Medicare and prescription carriers so you always get the best plan at the lowest rate. If you are on Medicare or will soon be on Medicare, call Secure to review your Medicare and prescription plan options. Call Brian at Secure for a free quote. 883-9300. The number to call is 883-9300.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-342-4301. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and can't afford to pay them back, or you even have years of unfiled returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-342-4301 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, pension, savings, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 1-800-342-4301 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 1-800-342-4301.
We are back. Welcome back to the Fantasy Professionals. Cody, Dallas, and Brian from Secure Insurance Group. We're here in studio with Jock 98.7 talking fantasy football.
We just had a question. Our top 5, again, if you weren't listening, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., Todd Gurley, and David Johnson were the first 5 picks in the Beat the Pros, brought to you by Secure Insurance Group draft.
That's right. And we have Mike. We have a caller line with a fantasy football question. Mr. Mike, welcome to the show, sir.
How you doing, guys?
Great, sir. How are you?
Not bad. Well, I did another draft yesterday, and this is the funny question: how early do you draft Cam Newton?
I think
I had
he's
a guy
there
last night, second round, pulled him out.
Yeah.
What pick in the second round, or what pick you?
That
in
was
the
a
first?
turner. It was a we did a snake, so it would have been like the second pick on the turnaround.
Okay, so was there 10 teams in your league?
No, I do my eights. I love my eights.
Eight. So he went
like
9.
8, 9, 10.
10.
Then the
10.
10th
Okay.
pick.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And I'm
Cam
going,
Newton went 10.
wow.
What's your thoughts
Because
on
I was
that?
the number 2 pick, so I got Odell Beckham Jr. So
Great.
Very nice.
Awesome pick.
Very
Very
nice.
well done.
Boy,
I'm taking Cam somewhere around number 30.
yeah, I've got him
Somewhere
listed
around 25 to 30.
I've got him listed at
That's what I'm
35
thinking.
actually.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm going, why did this guy, all of a sudden I'm just watching, everybody's taking this thing, and all of a sudden Cam Newton, well, I had to stop for a minute, and I go, what?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that just kind of caught me off guard. I agree with you guys. I don't think you take a quarterback that. You get a couple of players first, and then start, because I got Rodgers and Luck on mine, so.
Yeah, there's just
was
too
the good
many.
part.
There's just too many quarterbacks out there to do that, and obviously Cam. I think Cam and Aaron Rodgers are the top 2, but you could drop down
Now-
to Palmer and Bortles and Russell Wilson and so forth, and,
And
probably
Luck.
still
I
not
mean,
be
there's
off 20 or 30 points.
Breeze,
so.
yeah, there's several there. Yeah, you bring up a great point, Mike. I mean, that's
That's what I needed to know, gentlemen. I thought that was crazy. I just wanted to see if other people were nodding the crazy button too. So,
Oh,
hey,
absolutely.
good.
There's it takes all kinds, and we love them because that leaves players for us.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks,
thanks
Mike.
for
Good
listening.
luck in your draft, sir.
Yep.
Very nice, yeah, and like he said, like I said before, some guys just go in. I am taking Cam, no matter what. I love Cam. There, I mean, he lit the league on fire last year, and I've got him in one of my keeper leagues, and I'm keeping him. But I just because the rest of my team's garbage. But
Well, you should have enlisted my advice sooner.
Uh-huh.
I'll help sooner next time.
I
That's
appreciate
my bad.
that. I appreciate that. That's on you. So we get back to this. Number 7, with the number 7th pick, we had Cam Newton at 6. Then at number 7,
all day.
Team Odie with a
AP.
great pick was Adrian Peterson. We talked about that. And then it was Mr. Newcomb's turn.
Guy Newcomb, scoreboard guy of he does the high school highlights on Saturday
High school
mornings.
highlights, yeah.
He's very well known. He's got like 13.4 thousand Twitter followers.
Yeah, follow him
Crazy.
on. If you want to know anything about high school highlights, give Guy Newcomb a follow. Sorry, on Twitter. He took an interesting pick, one I wouldn't have done again, but I didn't mind him taking because I was right after him with Robert Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski, tight end, New England Patriots. A little earlier than I would have normally took that specific pick, but you go ahead and lock up the best tight end. Once Brady comes back, you've arguably got one of the best players in the league. I mean, yeah, it's early generally for a tight end. I mean, if you look at average draft position, he's going later than that, but it may work out for him. It really may.
It's not something I would say is a bad pick or anything like that. Not something I would have done, but it's just different strokes for different folks. And then at number 9, I think we had the pick of the draft.
We will wait and see. We've got Danny calling in. Danny, welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, got a quick question. Who, by chance, has the top 5 easiest schedules? What teams for my defense?
Ooh,
That is a
great question.
For your specific defense?
Yes, sir.
So you're like me. You are. What I like to do, I like to go into when I'm looking at defense. I like to look at. I do it week by week, to be really honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, the defense that I picked was the Jets. They've got a pretty easy week. Cody, you're looking that up. Who do we got?
Well, we've got. I know who the picks are going to be early. It's going to be Denver. It's going to be Seattle. It's going to be Carolina.
But Denver plays the Panthers week 1.
Yeah.
So I don't care for them week 1.
Well,
but
that's true. I mean, if you're looking for a complete season, I know that if you look at some different teams, I would say that I feel like probably Minnesota.
Yeah.
It looks like they have an easy schedule, honestly, especially
about the Steelers?
defensively. The Steelers, Pittsburgh.
They are in a pretty weak division.
They are in a weak division. I like that.
I like that. Yeah,
I like
Can't
that
go
one
wrong
quite a
with
bit.
that.
That's a good pick. Houston. Houston's actually defensively. I think they've got a pretty decent matchup. But they got a great defense too. They've added some pieces. I think that's I think that's a defense that'll surprise people this year. I really do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't agree more.
But unless you get a stud defense, you may want to just play it week to week. Like the first week,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I'm really targeting Pittsburgh just because I know their first 4 games are going to be somewhat pretty easy. So
Right.
if I can jump out on top right off the bat, then that, so.
and you know, in the first week, the Eagles play the Browns, so there's probably nothing wrong with the Eagles defense that first week.
That's a good point as well.
Yeah.
So.
Very nice.
All right, guys.
Great
Well,
question,
thanks very
Danny.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, sir. Good luck on your drafts. We're going to continue on our first round from the Beat the Pros as soon as we get right back from this short break. You're listening to the Fantasy Professionals.
Hi, this is Trish with My Movers. Whether you're moving across the street or across the country, let My Movers do the work for you. Give us a call for a free estimate. 882-6683. That's 882-6683. Or find our website at thepurplemovers.com. Now sit back, relax, and let My Movers be your movers. And turn up the radio.
See our ad in Names and Numbers.
Find out what's cooking with AARP each month in your local Hy-Vee store where free cooking lessons are offered from 6 to 8 p.m. You'll eat what you cook and have fun with other foodies. Registration is required and space is limited. For more information, visit aarp.org/mo and find us on Facebook at AARP Missouri. Discover real possibilities in Springfield with AARP.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable, crib or bassinet.
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, immunization. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to immunize, talk to your child's doctor. Go to health.mo.gov/immunizations or call 800-219-3224.
Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention.
It's panic time. The boss just asked you when that new building will be completed, and you haven't even started yet. Well, don't panic. Call the name you know, General Steel. You've known General Steel for decades, and you know they'll save you about half the cost and about half the time of conventional construction. But did you know that General Steel has provided buildings for some of the biggest names in business and government? And did you know the General can provide pre-construction planning services for your total project? And I'll bet you didn't know you can get General Steel quality and save thousands. For example, a 40-foot by 60-foot building for under $22,000, or a 50 by 100 for under $35,000. That's right, 5,000 square feet for under $35,000. And all with General Steel's 50-year structural warranty. So don't panic. Call now and lock in some of the lowest prices this year. 866-96-STEEL. Call 866-96-STEEL today. Quick, the boss is coming. That's 866-967-8335.
The anticipation of running through the tunnel, hearing the crowd from the locker room. Your heart pumps a mile a minute as you prepare for battle.
And off up the middle, 5-yard line, touchdown!
Every game, all season long, right here on the Missouri State Sports Network.
I'm Brian with Secure Insurance Group. Secure is an independent agency located in Springfield, Missouri. As an independent agency, we shop the top-rated life insurance carriers so you always get the lowest rate. If you're a 40-year-old, a $500,000 10-year level term is as low as $16 monthly. With term rates lower than they've ever been, there's no reason not to have the protection you need. Call Brian at Secure for a free quote, 883-9300. The number to call is 883-9300.
If you want to improve what you drive, drive over to Youngblood Motors on South Campbell. If you want to improve your drive on the golf course, listen to Grayson on Golf every Thursday at 2 on Jock 98.7. We'll talk about local, state, and national events. Tune in for tips from nationally known personalities and call in with your question. That's Grayson on Golf, presented by Youngblood Motors every Thursday at 2 on Jock 98.7.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Professionals. Cody Dallas and in-studio guest Brian Askins from Secure Insurance Group. Hey, call in right now. We have a trivia question, 417-868-6100. Again, 417-868-6100. Our trivia question is brought to you by Kobe Hibachi and Grill and Sushi. The owner is Don over at 3050 South National Avenue in Springfield. Dallas, that's over at the corner of National and Montclair.
National Montclair.
We were just there this week.
Yeah, sent some people there today. They said they loved it. Absolutely raved about how good it was.
It's incredible that you can get a full hibachi meal for under $10.
Yeah,
and it will fill you up, and you won't be able to finish it.
Yeah,
and it's
my wife
incredible.
and I split it every time. Yeah,
it
dragon,
is so
balls,
good.
Great appetizers. We absolutely love it. Now, we were talking while we're waiting on some callers here. We were talking about the first round, number 9 pick. I got to go number 9. I wasn't excited about that, but when I saw Cam Newton go, when I saw Gronk go, I was a little excited about the guy that I was eyeing just kept coming my way, and I took DeAndre Hopkins with number 9.
Wide
and
receiver,
I'm excited about it.
Do you regret that?
I do not. I have no buyer's remorse. I am excited. I saw everyone in the room. As I made that pick, I saw the life go out of everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Because they just knew it was over.
Well, and to finish up the first round, we got some callers for the trivia. Finish up the first round, Captain Klinkenbeard, Jeff Klinkenbeard of Computer Talk USA, took Devontae Freeman, Atlanta Falcons running back. And, yeah.
If he does anything like he did last year, that's the best pick of the draft.
Yeah,
because,
and it's probably a couple picks early to be exact, but actually very close to on time. A pretty solid pick.
And you look at who was still sitting there, and you had A.J. Green still sitting there. You had Ezekiel Elliott still sitting there. Allen Robinson still
I can't believe
there.
A.J. Green went 14, and we'll talk about that a little
Brandon
more in a
Marshall
second,
still
but that's
there.
crazy. That is nuts to me.
Yeah.
We've got Matt, who is ready to win some trivia, ready to get some hibachi in his belly. Matt, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice.
This trivia question is brought to you by Kobe Hibachi Grill and Sushi. This trivia question: who is the only team that Randy Moss has scored 4 touchdowns against in one single game? Randy Moss caught 4 touchdowns against one single team. Is it the Indianapolis Colts, New York Jets, Buffalo Bills, or Miami Dolphins?
I'm going to say the Jets.
That was my guess,
Jets,
literally.
Jets.
Unfortunately,
Jets.
that is incorrect. Thank you very much for calling in the show, sir. Good luck in your drafts, and sorry you didn't win that. That was actually my guess earlier in the office, wasn't it?
You know it's going to be an in-division rival.
Now that you just gave away another
Well, I just knocked
you knocked somebody else out if they're paying
team.
attention. Hey, Michael, are you ready for the trivia question, sir?
Let's give it a shot.
Hey, I hope you win, brother. This is going to be some awesome hibachi. It is so good. Hey, if you go, you have to order the Dragon Balls appetizer, okay?
Okay, we'll try that.
Thank you, sir. Michael, who is the only team that Randy Moss has scored 4 touchdowns against in one game? He caught 4 touchdowns against one single team. Randy Moss did 4 touchdowns in one game. Is it the Colts, the Bills, or the Dolphins?
Let's go with the Bills.
Bills is a winner. Ding, ding, ding. Well done, Mr. Michael.
Very nice, Michael. Michael, if you got one pick, PPR, who you taking first?
Brown.
Brown. If it's standard, who you taking?
That's a good question. Who would you take?
Ooh, I like that little.
I gotta go. I gotta go Gurley.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I gotta go Gurley.
Come on, Dallas.
Gurley
Dallas
or Brown.
Brian
has sold me.
He didn't even want to pick Gurley in the first 2 rounds a month ago.
No,
now he's on the Gurley train. We've sold him in studio. Hey, Michael, don't listen to that.
Or AP.
You take Brown
I like
either
Gurley,
way, baby.
Gurley or AP or Brown.
Oh my goodness.
I like it.
Hey, by the end of this show, we will convince him that Stephen Gostkowski will go in the first round. I guarantee it. No question about it.
We got close.
Michael,
in our draft.
Hey, congratulations. Hold on the line. Dwayne's going to get your information. Enjoy hibachi. Tell Don at Comey we said hello. And have a great fantasy football season. Thank you, sir.
You. You guys,
I'm loving it.
No, and it is partly I am being convinced. However, I can't go a wide receiver in a standard league first. Just can't do it. Cannot do it.
Well, and thinking of someone on your point about how I absolutely dominated our league and how we know someone that also dominates his space. And that's Kenny James and James Construction.
James Construction, very nice. Yeah, James Construction out there between Rogersville and West Plains.
Yep.
He's going to come in, do it right the first time, fix it up.
That is exactly right. I mean, they build homes, barns, complete remodels, home repair, new construction, roofs, skid steer service, doesn't matter. Anything construction between Rogersville and West Plains, we guarantee that Kenny James is your man. Call Kenny James today at 926-9139. Pick up your phone, dial 926-9139. Tell him the Fantasy Professionals sent you. Again, call Kenny at James Construction.
Very nice. Yeah, as we finish out that round, looking at the draft, I'm sitting here going through round 1, round 2, and all kidding aside, but maybe I better ask Brian this.
You think
if
he's going
you
to be
had
serious?
to pick, I think so. If you had to pick one steal of the draft, who would you lay it on?
I think Team Odie when they got A.J. Green with the 14th pick.
Or
this is why we asked Brian.
Or Mr. Primetime when he got Le'Veon Bell with the 20th pick. I thought those two were pretty solid picks. And I actually loved my 17th pick of the draft, Allen Robinson.
Actually, all three of those went too late. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
All three of those players went too late. If you're drafting right now, draft them a little earlier.
And one last player is, if Ezekiel Elliott can stay out of trouble, Kirk Elmquist could have gotten a steal at number 15 with Ezekiel, the fifth pick of the second round.
That's the latest I've seen him go.
That could be a tremendous pick.
That could be a great pick. That's the latest I've seen Elliott go in any draft that I've seen. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was sitting there. I had pick 9 and I had pick 11. And
you regret it, don't you?
Pick 12. No, I don't regret it.
Wish you'd have picked Zeke, baby.
I took Dez with my second pick. I cannot pick a guy that hadn't touched football.
I could understand Dez. You should have picked A.J. Green. But either way, you got a wide receiver PPR. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, very good. No, Ezekiel Elliott going in the second round.
Yeah.
15, like you said, he's either going to be a beast that we're all going to be begging for, or he's going to be a bust. I wouldn't say a bust, but I don't know that he will be. Anybody that runs behind that line is going to be okay. And then, but the weakest pick in the draft, who you got?
Oh, the weakest pick in the draft. I think we would have to go with.
And we love this guy, one of our favorite guys.
Gosh, we love this guy a lot. Stephen Gostkowski in the third round.
Stephen
kicker in the third round's a little
soon. Do we say who it was?
We've picked on your bro Kirk too much today.
I wasn't going to say who it was. Kirk, if you're listening,
and I have a good relationship.
I wasn't going to say. I wasn't going to say.
Dallas is scared to say. You'll be proud that I wasn't.
He's a large individual.
Hey, and, Jake Gillette of JBG Painting, he got Julio second overall, but then in the second round, he took Lamar Miller. And I think I can agree those are two extremely solid picks. Just like he painted our office and did an incredible job. The entire office is spotless. They came and did it in a couple days. I think it's like 4,300 square feet. He did an incredible job.
And his motto is always leave a place cleaner than you found it, and he did. They put everything back. They cleaned everything up. Their phone number, 825-4919. Call JBG Painting today. And if you mention that you heard it on this show, 20% off on your paint job. And, if you think about it, you get a pretty good job, good-sized job. That's some change there. So
that's
give Jake a call.
Big savings. Yeah, he upped it to 20% over the last couple of weeks. And, Brian, what do you think? What did you think of the job they did at Secure?
I did absolutely tremendous. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
His team, it was almost, they were like so stealth. You didn't even know they were there. I'm serious. It was awesome.
Yeah. The smell was all I knew. It was it's the only reason I knew.
Fresh paint on the walls. Yeah, he did an awesome job. If you have a painting need, please call him. Give him that number one more time.
It is 825-4919.
You would think we'd know it by now.
We should.
And you know what? I know the last four for sure.
4919.
Call him for any painting need today.
20% off.
What were some other picks? I mean, I think we can all agree. The absolute steal of the draft. No questions asked. Le'Veon Bell in the 20th pick. Okay, he's suspended for 3 games, but he's the best player in the NFL, bar none.
After week 4 or after week 3. But, Brian, what are the odds that he's still on Cody's team in week 4?
Very slim if anybody sends Cody a trade offer.
Well, that's because, and I can say this seriously and legitly, I will get DeAndre Hopkins Des Bryant, and LaShawn McCoy from Dallas for Le'Veon Bell, if not more.
There's not a
Guaranteed
chance.
the trade will happen, and I may have him just go ahead and throw in T.Y. Hilton just to boot his first 4 picks.
Put some chocolate chips on that, as the great Ned Reynolds would say. Not going to happen. But, yeah, some guys that went one thing here, how the mighty have fallen. Jamal Charles goes in the 3rd round, first pick of the 3rd round. You know, a year ago, 2 years ago, he was the number 1 pick overall. We had some. I got T.Y. Hilton in the 4th. I was extremely happy about that. Aaron Rodgers went in the 4th, and I think the lesson we can learn from that is there are quarterbacks out there that if you wait.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you think about that, didn't Mr. Secure get Luck in the end of the 6th?
Into the 6th round, he got Andrew Luck.
You can't say that, you know, Newton, Rodgers, Breeze, any of those are that much better than Luck.
No,
I
mean, yeah, a year ago, Andrew Luck was the number 1 quarterback.
Injured,
he got hurt, and his stock
I think
has
he'll be
fallen.
back. I mean, I think
It's
weird you can get him so late though.
And he's got a great receiving core there in Indianapolis. I think he can have a great year.
This is the time where we always tell you a little bit about our business and what we do. And Secure Insurance Group is over at 3506 South Culpeper Circle, just on South National behind Nona's.
Behind Nona's, across from the Meyer Center there.
Across from the Meyer Center. If you have, you know what? What's funny is we're coming up on Medicare season. Everyone's thinking about, we're less than 2 months away. Everyone's thinking about a month and a half. Everyone's thinking about their Medicare supplement, their Medicare Advantage, their Medicare questions, their prescription drug plan. If you have a Medicare question, please give us a call, 883-9300. Tell them you heard it on the Fantasy Professionals, and we guarantee excellent, excellent service. Mr. Askins, Mr. Bryan, owner of Secure, thank you very much for joining today. Any final words for all of our listeners?
It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you having me on the show, and I enjoy the show every week.
We wish everyone awesome luck. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Secure, 417 Lighting, First National Bank, Dr. Papagayo, Kobe Hibachi, James Construction, and JBG Painting. Have a great weekend. You just listened to the Fantasy Professionals.
Hi, I'm Sean with 417 Mowing, and we take lawn care seriously. It's what we do. With over 45 years combined experience, 417 Mowing can handle any of your lawn care needs, including aerating, fertilization, leaf cleanups, overseeding, weed control, and much more. We pride ourselves on our level of quality work and our affordable prices, always with a friendly approach. When quality lawn care matters, choose the friendly experts. We're here to help. Get a free estimate by calling 234-0654 or by visiting 417mowing.com.
Cool evenings, sound of the band. That means school is back and fall sports are here. Hi, Jim Hoovens here with Wise Guy Screen Print. I'd like to invite you to stop by and let us show you why Wise Guy Screen Print is your wise choice for all your screen print needs. Schools, teams, groups, organizations, got you covered. And price, let us make you that offer you can't refuse. A fully staffed art department means there's never a setup charge, and an experienced print staff ensures that your product will look as good as you dreamed it to be. Find us on the web at wiseguyscreenprint.com, like us on Facebook, or call 831-5010.
The Home Depot now has our best paints at even better prices. That includes interior and exterior paints. It includes durable paints and premium paints. It includes the most awarded, expert vetted, tried and true customer favorites that prove we're pouring more into paint. Painting is more than getting the right color. It's getting the right paint and the right price. Get all three now with our best paints at even better prices. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security